Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another stream with your boy Bot and Rico. We are here after another Bills win. You'll notice that we are celebrating, but not in the jovial, happy way that we normally do. This one shouldn't have been this hard. This one shouldn't have been this ugly. But yet, here we are, finding ourselves in the win column. Should be happy, which we are, but just not the way that we wanted this game to go. But it's not like we didn't call it. We knew this was going to be a tricky game, if you will. But am I missing something? What were your thoughts on this one?
I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be this tricky. I certainly didn't. What did I guess before the game started? 33-14. Here's the weird thing. Here's where I'm just lost now. This is 2 weeks in a row where the Bills play mediocre football for the vast majority of the football game. At times, it feels like they're playing bad football. There's portions of the game where they look really good, but throughout the totality of the football game, if you were to sum it up, based on the standard in which this team is set for itself, it felt as though the last 2 weeks were mediocre performances. These two mediocre performances result in 31 points in each game scored by the Buffalo Bills and a double-digit margin of victory in both games by the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what to make of what we've seen the last 2 weeks. Last week, Thursday Night Football against the Dolphins, I looked at it and said, listen, the Dolphins, they're not good, but they're not as bad as the dredges of the league, right? I mean, they have some solid talent on that team where they're better than what an 0-17 looking team would be, even though that they had been struggling immensely, obviously. Then you look at their situation, right? Their coach is on the hot seat, flaming hot seat. The quarterback's being targeted in on as somebody maybe they need to move off of, right? It's a divisional game against an opponent they have struggled so badly against. It's on a short week. So you're adding all these factors into it to make yourself think, all right, this is maybe why this game was closer than many thought it would be. They still won. This game, Rico, you're on 10 days rest. You're at home. You're going up against a team that just got flattened by what you find to be an inferior team to Buffalo in that of the Seattle Seahawks. The Bills come out in this one offensively, and did it not look like Allen and the boys were going to have 800 yards of offense? I mean, there was no pressure. Everybody was wide open. They were doing whatever they wanted, and then all of a sudden, it just got sloppy, and it never really stopped. Penalty after penalty. Inability to move the football. The defense got shredded in this game. There were times where Spencer Rattler looked like that of Lamar Jackson, who I have on my screen right now, who just threw an interception, by the way. They're up 7-3 on the Chiefs. They made the Saints look a lot better today, Rico, than I think they actually are. I don't know where to be at in terms of level of concern. Where are you at right now? What were your main takeaways?
Well, I'm kind of on fire right now because I just came off my Bleacher Report stream, so I'm kind of on it right now, and I'm looking at this game where I'm like, we didn't have to make it this difficult. We did not have to make it this difficult. We allowed these guys to, like we said, what they were going to do, hang around, and then you're forcing Josh Allen to do Josh Allen things when it wasn't necessary. Lack of communication. That's number one. Having your head coach burn timeouts when he shouldn't have to burn timeouts for guys that are not paying attention. And it wasn't because, I got the wrong play call. It's personnel. Where's the guys that are supposed to be on the field? Why do they only have 10 guys on the field? Those are the things that just make life harder for ourselves. You mentioned penalties. I think we had over 10 penalties today. I think 11 penalties today. Undisciplined.
Like that one sequence at the one, Rico, where they had back-to-back. You're like, what's going on here?
My gosh. So look, there was a few things that stood out to me where you're like, fam, we don't have to be here. Why are we allowing this to take place? But this is football. I mean, look, the Chargers lost to the Giants today. That's just what it's going to be. So any given Sunday, we get that. But when you're a team that's supposed to be so much more above the team that you just played, I would have loved to see us be at 30-4, 30-4, 30-3, and then garbage time they came back. You can say, okay, it's garbage time. We're not really putting the pedal on. We went right to the end, end. We're to the point where Josh Allen was trying to wave off his coach, like, "Yo, we got this. It's 4-3. We got it." McDermott's like, "Nah, bro, kick the field goal. We're just getting the win and let's go." Right. So we can sit here and lament on the negative because we are going to get into what stood out to us, but I do want to start with the positives. Is there something that where you're like, you know what? Although this game wasn't as sexy as I wanted to be, what stood out to you that made you kind of, smile inside? Say, okay, at least that was great about this game. What was it for you?
James Cook's the best running back in the NFL right now. James Cook is playing incredible. I was talking with my brother-in-law, and we were talking about James Cook, and he was asking me about the money paid and whether it was earned. And he's a Ravens fan, so you're coming from perspectives of watching Derrick Henry, and obviously there's other running backs in the league that are bigger household names than James Cook. And I think that this factored in to the perception surrounding the amount of money that he wanted during the offseason and overall the contract in general, right? So you were looking back at the numbers last year, and even we had felt at times that, James Cook might have been the benefactor of a great system, a great OC, a great offensive line, and of course, a Hall of Fame bound quarterback. What you're watching this year is James Cook standalone is incredible. There's no Spencer Brown out there today. Josh Allen had some moments today that were that of his worst in the 2025 season. James Cook didn't miss a beat. This is 4 consecutive games in 4 games to start the season. All 4 games to start the season. James Cook has over 100 all-purpose yards. He now has 3 consecutive games of 100-plus rushing yards. They're giving him the ball, Rico, too, a lot more than they used to. He's carrying the ball now 16, 17-plus times per game. Last year, that was like maybe once a month. We'd be getting those type of numbers. They're giving him the ball frequently. 22 carries today, 117 yards, gets a touchdown to give him the record for most consecutive touchdowns scored on the ground in Buffalo Bills franchise history with 8. James Cook is the best running back in the NFL right now, and it's not just the numbers. Watch the guy. He's moving better than running backs I've seen in some time, not just this year. You and I were talking about this up in the press box at the Dolphins game. Just watch the IQ. He doesn't make a move until he knows there's something there. The twitchiness is off the charts. The agility. And you know what he's doing now that you wouldn't expect of him? He kind of moves the pile. Like he kind of runs.
Yes, he does.
Around you. The guy is unbelievable. I thought in kind of, and this is, by the way, we'll talk about this throughout the show because I don't know what to make of a game where Allen has 3 touchdowns and over 200 yards. And I'm like, in a game where this offense kind of felt like a dark cloud, did you watch it? Because it kind of did for a good amount of time. James Cook really felt like a ray of sunshine throughout the majority of it. This dude's off the charts right now. The Buffalo Bills might have the 2 best players at 2 of the most important positions offensively in quarterback and running back, the way things are going through the first month of the season here.
I could not agree more than what you just said there because James Cook was absolutely phenomenal. He continues to be, some might say so far this year, he's the best player on this team. It's crazy because we have Josh Allen, but we time and time again, we lean on him to really get us going. The Ravens game, we leaned on him a lot, right? Every game this year, we've leaned on James Cook to really spark us, to get the ball moving, to get the chains moving. And he continues to do that on a consistent basis. I love what I'm seeing from James Cook. And here's the thing. Josh Allen feeds off of giving him the football. This is why, I don't know, we'll talk about this later. Joe Brady sometimes, he just frustrates me sometimes. But I love what I'm seeing from James Cook. James Cook is a go-to. He's a bell cow back. Think about it. Last year, there was a lot of, okay, let James Cook touch the ball. Okay, Ray Davis, you get in there. All right, Ty Johnson, you get some. Everyone is getting some. Now it's like, hey, pecking order. We just paid this guy $15 million. I'll tell you what, he's going to get every single touch. He had 25 touches today, 3 receptions, and he had 22 carries today for 117 yards. I'll take that every day of the week if we have to lean on James Cook to spark us, to get us going. Not only that, Ray Davis, 1 carry. Ty Johnson, 1 carry. Bro, it's official. This guy's our lead back. There is no sharing the load. He takes over. When he wants to breather, Ray Davis, that's when you'll get a touch. Ty Johnson, that's when you'll get a touch. But no, this guy is the real deal. James Cook, he's living up to every penny that they gave him and living up to the name because that boy be cooking. So big shout out to James Cook. And I love how he sparks this offense to get going. And you know what? Michelle Holman just said it, man. His vision is nasty. It's about, I said this last week, I'm going to say it again. Vision anticipation, that contact balance, and just knowing and feeling it. There's one thing I got to say, though. Many times I saw this game more specifically when this guy had that football. Okay. When he had that football, I got my Josh Allen signed football. When he had that football, I saw multiple times where everybody knows, it's got hard to do, but 3 points of contact, right? Right up against the chest, right tucked in here and tucked right here. And there's that 4 right around that Tiki Barber hold right there. Loved it. I must have seen that 3 or 4 times coming from my guy, James Cook. So he understands the nuances of holding onto that football, not letting it touch the ground, and sparking this offense. Man, you can't ask for a better time. So James Cook, well done. Well done, because we can lean on you.
He earned this contract not even playing like this. That's the thing. Like he wasn't playing like this. He was playing good. This is a different level. At no point last year, I think, was anybody saying, is James Cook playing the best running back in the NFL right now? And maybe nobody else is saying that outside of the Bills fan base, but I watch all these games. I got the Bills game on in the prime screen, of course, but I got my iPad and the computer going. I'm looking in all directions. I'm not seeing this on a consistent basis. And the teams that you do see it from, like Bijan Robinson, of course, right? Yep. You'll see it from him. You'll see it from the Smash Bros or whatever they call himself out in Detroit. But the thing of it is that that's what those teams are meant to do, right? Like the Falcons, they go through Bijan Robinson. The Detroit Lions, they can do a little bit of everything. That offense, of course, is very high powered, but you have the best running back duo in the NFL over there, right? With Indianapolis, Jonathan Taylor's been really good to start the year, but that team's built to go through Jonathan Taylor. The Bills are built around Josh Allen. So when you're looking at a Josh Allen-led offense and you're even questioning whether or not James Cook has been the best running back in the league with that quarterback, that to me is something else. I mean, it's not necessarily the type of running back that's conducive to being talked about, Rico, as one of the best, because you have Saquon making insane plays. You have Derrick Henry, like Saquon, he leaps over somebody backwards. Derrick Henry throws a stiff arm that puts a guy 10 feet beneath the earth's crust, whatever. Yeah. James Cook just does the little things every down with that vision that we just talked about, the elusiveness, the speed, the power. He really has it all. And what I thought was the most impressive part about his performance today is a lot of times we've said, or at least last year, I think a lot of times the point was made of, this offensive line is just really good. And you also have to respect Josh Allen. So with all that in mind, defensively, James Cook's getting his spot. You have no Spencer Brown out there today. And there were moments where Josh Allen was forcing stuff uncharacteristically and was not on his A game. James Cook was. And that's where I give him all the credit in the world. I was beyond impressed with him. And Rico, I've been impressed with him for a month straight. Keep it rolling, because keep it rolling right now.
He's absolute cooking. And I'll tell you this, just to kind of, put the cherry on top. He's the number 2 running back in the game in yards per game right now. So he's got 94.7 yards a game rushing. On top of that, he's the second leading back right now in the league at 284. Number 1 guy, Jonathan Taylor, which I have on my fantasy team, which I absolutely love. But here's the one I love the best. He's got the most touchdowns by a running back right now. He's got 4, right? Jalen Hurts is tied with him with 4 rushing touchdowns. There's our guy, Jimbo, right now leading the league for running backs in touchdowns. So yes,
so by no stretch, Rico, by no stretch, is it far-fetched to say he's playing the best running back in the NFL right now?
It's him and Jonathan Taylor. Those are the 2 big-time backs in the game right now. And Jonathan Taylor's known for that, right? First-round draft pick, I believe it was, or second-round draft pick. Doesn't matter, but he's been known to be a top dog, right? If he's healthy, he's a top dog. James Cook came in sharing the backfield in college, came in to share the backfield in Buffalo. Now he's the lead dog. Not that people didn't notice him, and I'll count myself in there. I was like, okay, he's a good back, and it is what it is. But he's really proving himself that not only can he be a guy that you can count on, boy, he could be a wonderful piece for this offense to get over to get over the hump. And I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. I said it more today, and I guess I could say it, but I'm gonna say it right now. We are going to have to put up 30 points a game if we really want to push it and make it and be a contender for this Super Bowl, because we're going to have to be historic. Historically, we're going to have to put 30 points a game, 30 plus points a game, and not waver, because the way this defense had played today and they've been trending, we're going to need all of James Cook. We're going to need all of Josh Allen to really bring their A game every single game. How hard is that going to be? Well, we're going to have to ask for superhuman things from these 2 guys, because right now, boy, I'm loving what I'm seeing from James Cook. I think we're both on the same page, man. Kudos to James Cook. That boy balling.
And luckily for us, to your point, this team cannot not score 30. I don't even know what to make of this anymore. I'm texting my dad, and we're just like, this is insane. This team offensively today looked like as rudimentary as it gets. If you didn't have the score bug and you missed the first quarter, say you got stuck in traffic and the radio was busted and you missed the first quarter and you got back, watch that whole game and you'd be like, I don't know, did the Bills score? What did they score? 20 points? 31 again. And it was the same thing last week. And this is where I'm struggling so badly with what I'm watching during the game and then what I'm talking about post game and what the reality of it was. The reality of this game was that the Bills offense scores 31 points. Josh Allen only has 6 incompletions. He has over 200 yards on only 16 completions. He had his best running game in a long time. He ran the ball incredibly well, over nearly 6.5 yards per carry, plus the touchdown. So you have 3 total touchdowns from Allen in this game to go along with that great day we just talked about with James Cook. Total yardage over 350 yards. And this is what's so weird about this game in particular, and kind of like the Dolphins game. Rattler, he had 126 yards, Rico. Did it not feel like they were cooking up the Bills defense for a little bit more than that?
It certainly did. And that 126 yards you're mentioning, at one point it was 111.
I just don't get, what are we watching? I don't know. This is very confusing. And I'm not by any stretch, I am not trying to sit here and do what I've seen a lot of, and that is whatever, they're cooked 4-0. I don't care. They're still winning by double digits in 31, and they've yet to play a really good game. They've played a couple of good quarters. They haven't played a good game. I tell you what, Rico, this game really did feel like, yeah, we knew we were 16-point favorites in this game. This is what that game kind of felt like to me for a while. And even us as fans, I think it's fair to say that, because did you sit there even with it close? You're sitting there and you're like, did your heart rate ever even get elevated? Because mine didn't. Not at all in this game. Last week it did, not this week.
It's not that it got elevated per se. It was just it was more my blood started to boil and say, why are we doing this? Why are we messing around with this team? Not because I was I'm on pins and needles. I knew the dub was coming. I knew we need to shake the cobwebs and wake up. But I was like, yo, we're playing with our food too long, man. Stop playing with your food, finish the plate, and get on with it. And we sat there until we made everybody sit in their seats. Nobody could go home and get in their cars early to say, yeah, we got this wrapped up. They made everybody sit there and wait this all out. But a dub is a dub, is what they say. A dub is a dub. And we got the W, which we all wanted. And it worked out great. Now, I want to stick on the positive points here. Obviously, James Cook leading the way. It was fantastic. He continued. Josh Allen continues to rewrite the record books, right? With fastest player, 300 yards, 300 touchdowns. That continues to be pushed. Was there anything else that stood out to you that was like, okay, that's a positive?
I thought that, well, you got to give a positive to Kincaid. He already has a career high season total touchdown number, and it's week 4. We talked about this on Friday night. If he were to score in this game, it would be 3. He hasn't eclipsed 2 in the 2 seasons prior to this. He already has 3, and it was a great play. Allen faked it. Kincaid ran a great route. He was wide open. He sold it perfectly. He hit him in stride, touchdown. And Kincaid, through the first 4 weeks, has been an impact in every single game. He really has. He's been one of the go-to guys for Allen, stepping up consistently here. Right. And in this game, it was only 1 reception, but that reception, Rico, really allowed the Bills to put this away. If the Bills don't hit that go route, maybe you're looking at a different game, because at that time it was 21-19. So if the Bills don't hit that play to Kincaid, we could be singing a different tune. Who knows what ends up happening? So I understand he only had 1 catch, but up until that point, I think Jackson Hawes was the only tight end to have a reception in that entire game. So They kind of took that away. Credit to the Saints, because the Bills have been running a lot of 3 tight end personnel. They've been getting all 3 of those tight ends involved. So they weren't as effective as we've seen up until this point this year. But I got to give credit to Kincaid, because he is visibly and statistically off to the best start of a season in his career.
You are absolutely bang on with that. And you can't ask for more. And it really, that Kincaid reception for a touchdown came off of huge play off Josh Allen's legs. Josh Allen had to run for that huge 27-yard gain in order to set that up. So it's really, and it's playing off of what Walter's saying, set up off of the run so we can pass the football. But that's another conversation we'll have a little later. There is something that I do want to share. Coach McDermott, is gaining accolades himself. This was his 90th win as a head coach for these Bills. So kudos to Mr. McDermott with his 90th win. I mean, say what you want about the man. I know sometimes there were times it could be frustrating, but he's one of the better coaches in the game. Obviously, he's got a fantastic quarterback and a running back that's doing great things. But kudos to head coach Sean McDermott for 90 dubs in his career. You got to give him some credit for that. I know it's falling on deaf ears now because of how this game turned out. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he's paid to get the W. He's paid to coach this team to get wins so they can get to where they need to get to. So at this point, kudos to Mr. McDermott. I know it's kind of weird to mention that, but you got to give him credit. 90 wins under the books and many more to go. So we got our coach of the future for now, and then we'll play that out. But let's not touch on that. But I had to give him his props. Yeah,
it was a rough day for McDermott, I thought, but it felt like it was a rough day for a lot of the Bills, a lot of the team today. And once again, these rough days are resulting in double-digit victories. And I know it's easy to say they've played two weaker teams the last 2 weeks, but I don't know if they play this poorly if they're playing a better team. I don't know, because they do rise to the occasion when it's necessary. So it's very strange. And I'm not necessarily disappointed. I'm more confused than anything. These numbers just do not seem to reflect what you're watching sometimes. Like, I would have guessed that Rattler was closer to 200 in this game. He was at 126.
Right.
I think it was their ability to stay on the field. That was what I was kind of shocked by. It was their ability to continue to stay on the field in the running game for the Saints. We'll talk about it in a minute, because this run defense outside of the Jets game thus far, I wanted to say it was just a one-off with the Ravens, but it seems like it hasn't been. The one-off was the Jets game and what they were able to do to them. That was really the one-off. But other positives too. I think that this team's ability to kind of put the nail in the coffin is impressive. Last week they were on the ropes again with Miami. They needed to go down and score. They needed to stop. They got both of those things done. This week with the Kincaid touchdown, right? It's 21-19. Go put these guys away. Come on. What the hell are you doing? It shouldn't be this close. Here's the crazy thing. On the final drive for them before the kneel down, of course, their last legitimate drive where they kicked the field goal with Prater. If they try and score a touchdown on that drive, which it didn't seem like there was a whole ton of emphasis on trying to do that, if they score a touchdown, as sloppy and as odd as this game felt, they cover the largest spread of the year so far. So that's what this game, that's the insanity here. If they had the wherewithal on that final drive right on the outside of the red zone, instead of just handing it off and taking the field goal, if they were to have tried to press and get into the end zone, they cover an astronomical spread that closed at 14.5 points. So as weird as this one was, the main positive you take away, Rico, is mediocre games for the Bills are now maybe a couple teams in the league's best Sunday, right? I mean, that's really what you take away from this.
Well, here's another thing too, right? Because we have to understand that the Bills are in a different they're in a different realm here, because we're not the old Bills where this was a saying I used to have. We were in, I don't know if I can remember it. If this is when we were losing and we were in the drought. I said, the Bills are always in the hunt, but they never catch their prey, right? And that was what I used to say all the time. Always in the hunt, right? You could always see the Bills in the bubble, all in the hunt. Or what are you hunting for? You never caught your prey ever. So now, not only have we caught our prey, right? But now we are being hunted. So every team that comes to our home is going to give us our ultimate best, even if it's a scrub team, right? Or they're not winning. They're gonna give us our best. So we have to be on our game at all times. You can't have the moment to slip. That's why you respect the Patriots so much. That's why you respect the Rams back in the day so much. That's why you respect the Chiefs, because everyone's giving you their best. So you're gonna have some games where you're like, yo, what are the Bills doing? Well, I just got the best of the Saints. But obviously our running game has a lot to do with what took place. And Spencer Rattler, you just mentioned, Spencer Rattler just threw for 126 yards. Did you know why he threw for 126 yards? Because they ran for damn near 200.
Well, that I've seen that. I'm seeing that point be made. But he threw it 27 times.
He certainly did, and
he threw it more than Allen did.
4.4 yards a pop. So it wasn't great. And his
That's what I'm
numbers were
saying.
Actually on par for the season.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't rule out the fact that he only had 126 because they ran it so well. He still threw it 27 times. It's not like they threw it 14 times and he had 126 yards. Like, they still tried to throw the ball. But, they couldn't force him into making a mistake. That was the thing. He didn't turn the ball over, to his credit. They did end up forcing a turnover to even out once again the turnover battle. Despite Allen throwing his first pick in what feels like forever, they still even out the turnover battle. And really with Allen, that pass, I saw where he was going with it. He didn't see the safety coming in. He didn't see the safety drifting over. He had Coleman streaking down the field. It wasn't a good pass. He overthrew him. But you're going to throw a pick. I mean, you're not going to go the whole season without throwing an interception, and you'd much rather have him throw one in a game like this than a game like the Ravens game in week 1. But no, you're right. So do you want to transition to the run game there and maybe some of the negatives here? Because of course,
let's jump into it, because I mean, as much as we let's put a button in it. 30 points a game. We love that. You and I both agree. Great job. Right. James Cook doing what he needs to do. Fantastic job. Josh Allen icing the game when we need to tell him to put the cape on. Fantastic job. I mean, there's anything else? I think we got everything from there, from what was good. When we got the W. At the end of the day, we got the win. Yeah, boy, are there some things we need to talk about. And I think you transitioned well. The run game. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, 189 rush yards for the Saints in this game. As great as James Cook and Josh Allen ran the ball today, they were still outgained on the ground by the Saints in this one. And it was by a multitude of different players. That was the concerning thing. They couldn't really stop anybody. You had 3 players for the Saints nearly go for 50 yards plus. You had Spencer Rattler with 49 yards. You had Kendre Miller with 65 yards. You had Kamara with 70 yards. All told, they finished with nearly 200 rushing yards. So now you look at the Ravens game, they got rolled in the run game. You look at the Dolphins game, Achane had a good day. They really were able to run the ball. And not just Achane, by the way, the Dolphins' second running back there.
Ollie Gordon.
Gordon, yeah, he really was the one who leaded the way in that one. And now the outlier is what they were able to do to Justin Fields and to Breece Hall. Through 4 games, that stopping of that run game was the outlier. It wasn't the precedent. So that was concerning, right? I mean, you were looking at this D front today, and maybe it's the absence of Ed Oliver that's been being felt here. It didn't get noticed in the Jets game, and maybe the last 2 weeks it has. Joey Bosa, I thought, was kind of getting exposed a little bit today. He was in the area, but wasn't capable of making plays. What stood out to me the most in correlation to the run game, the tackling was abysmal today. The tackling was awful. They were never getting the guy down, it felt like, on first contact. So the tackling really seemed to be an area of concern that helped lead this Saints team to be able to run the football. And, that running of the football allowed them to stay in this game as long as they did. Teams are going to want to run the football like this against the Bills to keep that offense off the field. And for the most part, they were able to do that this afternoon. The Saints were able to keep this one close throughout because of their ability to run. And this is now 3 of the 4 games where every team has basically been able to do whatever they've wanted in the run game. So the problem is that you're looking at 3 games here. And I don't think you look at the Saints or the Dolphins as 2 dominant run teams. Obviously, you look at the Ravens like that, and they ran all over them. Speaking of the Ravens, by the way, they just go down 13-7 to the Chiefs, by the way, which is, look out. We're going to keep an eye on that game, of course, all throughout the afternoon here. But yeah, you're going to have some teams coming up here. You're going to have the Falcons, not this coming week, but the week after, and Bijan Robinson, one of the best in the league. You obviously have the Eagles later on in the season. You have some teams on this schedule that are going to be far better running the football than maybe the Saints currently are, or other teams they've faced up until this point. So that is certainly the primary area of concern. It's funny, the Ravens seem to have the exact same problem currently on their team, where their offense is scoring 30 consistently. They're playing exceptionally well. The defense, of course, on the other end of things has been the Achilles heel. So, looking at this game, the run D is the one thing that stands out the most, allowing 189 yards here. And then, to go off of that, they were better on stopping the Saints on third down, which was good to see. But they didn't get into as many third down situations as I think maybe you were hoping for because of their ability to run the football. They got 22 first downs in this game, the Saints. They had more first downs than the Bills did in just about an even time of possession. So I don't know. Just an awfully interesting game in the sense that you still hold the team to sub 20 points, but throughout it, you were feeling, man, this front line is kind of getting worked here, and they're consistently being able to run the football. So, I mean, how do you feel about it? Is this something that's solvable, or is this just what the Bills defense is?
It's both. It's both. Is it solvable? Of course it's solvable, because you have to. You're going to have to, because there's going to be a stretch of games where you're going to play competent quarterbacks. Spencer Rattler blows. He's not a good quarterback. Like what you saw today was probably at his best. You know what I'm saying? Like it's unacceptable for our defense to allow him to do what he was able to do, right? Folks, let's keep it a buck here. I get sick and tired of this third down defense. I got to go right to the third down defense. This running game, we already know that we've had this problem for years to stop the run. We're never consistent enough to stop the run. But this third down defense that we're trotting out, dude, Spencer Rattler hit a wide open down the seam. Either was it Olave that dropped the ball that we thought he caught? If he catches that,
yeah, that's a good point.
Saints are up. Saints are up. So now we have to trot out Josh Allen to either put the cape on and, you know what I mean, now really dig deep into that bag. And why is this defense putting Josh and this offense in that position? You almost did. And that falls on Babbage. That falls on execution from the defenders. Like, bro, you're going to cost this offense again. And we're seeing it right now. But Rico, we don't have Ed Oliver. We don't have Matt Milano. And I don't give a rat's ass if we don't have those guys. This defense got to step up. You have Trey White that's getting beat like a mule on the sidelines. They had to say, hey, Dorian, jump in there and take over. You see my man Trey White on the sideline, like, well, you're looking at Trey White. He's not hurt. He's just out.
Wow.
Bam. Like,
by the way, him,
that's
27.
Let's keep it all the way real. Benford didn't have a great game. We paid this brother big time because of what he did last year. I get it. And what we want from him going forward. Bro, has he looked like a Pro Bowl cornerback this year? Hell no, he hasn't. Hell no, he has. Not even close. Not even close. He's looking like a 6th-round draft pick that we drafted. I mean, people are not, but I like Benford too, but he hasn't been playing up to his potential. So we want to knock on this defensive run game, but the passing defense ain't doing diddly squat either. So it allows teams to be balanced and allows teams to run all over us. And then if they need to make a big time third down play and conversion, it is what it is. And you got Mike Buffalo saying, hey man, Rico, you going overboard. No, the F I'm not. No, the F I'm not, because we were a drop football on the turf on 3rd and long, 3rd and 13, might I add you, where the dude was wide open.
There was a couple of those, by the way, couple of missed passes.
It's fact. So, in Mike D. Buffalo, I respect you, and I respect a lot of fans that feel this way, that have the optimism of, you know what I mean? But I'm sick and tired of it. Yo, we're too good to be playing around with weak-ass teams like this. Sorry, not sorry. So, to me, this whole defense needs to wake up. I know you want to blame it on Babbage, and I know we want to blame it on McDermott. Fam, it's player execution. Know what the hell your freaking job is. So when McDermott was saying, you know what I mean, my man, the rookie Maxwell Harrison, I don't know if he's going to come back. It's if he can. I get it now. If he's got it up here yet, I can't trot him out if he doesn't got it up here. The guy that I paid a whole lot of money to ain't keeping it up. And then you have the nerve to say, hey, try that again. That baffled me when Benford said that. When he got beat in the Ravens game, bet he can't do that again. What? Are you kidding me? Bro, they've been doing that to you. Olave just did it to you. D-Hop did it to you in the first game. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want? Come on, man. So this defense in totality, I'm not going to sit here and blame it just on the run D. It's the back end. Let's keep it real. If you're doing your job on the back end, you can allow your front 7 to do what they need to do. If your front 7 ain't doing what they need to do, you're leaving your back end caught up, and the back end ain't good enough to we don't have that elite guy back there. So, bro, this defense, as much as we want to say, hey man, kudos to this offense, bro, this defense is a freaking liability. And I don't care if everybody's talking about, you reaching, you overboard. No, the heck I'm not. We just allowed the Saints that got their doors blown out 38. It was 38-6 at half to the Seahawks with Sam Darnold. Bro, we got an MVP quarterback sitting on our team, and we messing around like that? Bro, I don't want to hear it. We were missing Spencer Brown. I don't want to hear it. We got to be better, period. Defensive, these third downs are killing me. I know I'm going off of a bit of a rant. I don't care. This defense is going to let us down. And you know what? And I'll end it by saying this. What got you hired is going to get you fired. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about. McDermott, if you don't get your act together and this defense keeps letting your offense down and you're having to count on Josh Allen to do all these heroic things, bro, the same reason that we hired your ass is going to be the same reason to say, oh, bye-bye, this defense ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So get it together, man. Get it together because this ain't it. The Saints, bro, we should have handled the Saints easy. Easy, but here we are. Sitting here, bull. I don't want to cuss. I'm going to leave it at that. So if you guys think I'm overreacting, smash that like if you think I'm overreacting. If you think I'm spot on, smash that like if you think I'm spot on. Either way, we're getting them likes. So let's go, man. And let this, by the way, share this link, by the way, and get this thing going. Let as much people see this link as possible. That's what helps us by liking this, and it gets to a whole lot of people because I think it's necessary to have these conversations, healthy conversations. We're not going to sit here and homer our way onto this thing. No way. We got to see it how we see it and say it how we say it. So the way I look at it, we got a lot of work to do on this defense, and that's going to be McDermott's biggest job. It's early. Fix it. Fix this nonsense because I'll tell you right now, you're going to have a lot of pissed off Bills fans calling for McDermott and Babbage's head. And now we're going to – I can't even think about it right now. So I'm going to stick it at that. And it's tough for you to follow up on that because I just went on a bit of a rant, but here we are. Here we are, man. I get sick of it. I get sick of it, man. Like this defense can't continue to allow Josh to bail us out. You know what I'm saying? So Benford, do your job. Trey White, be a mentor if you can't do your job on the field, and you'll mentor these guys to do what they're supposed to do. And hopefully we get healthy enough. And the silver lining in this is we got some healthy legs coming back for this defense. Hopefully that wakes us up and gets us going. But right now, bro, this ain't it. The Bills defense ain't it. Golly, man. Anyway, seen.
Well, you know, if you're sick of the Chiefs, by the way, don't turn on CBS because they're back. You know, they're back as you thought they would be. They're dominating. They're dominating defensively right now. The Baltimore Ravens offense. Lamar looks like he's going up against the 85 Bears right now. They start off that game slicing a hot knife through butter to go up 7-0. I think he's like 2 of 7 for 20 yards since, and they can't run it. So keeping an eye on this one because this game is so big. I mean, this game is big. And speaking of big, that Chargers loss to Jackson Dart earlier, even with losing Malik Neighbors for likely the year, by the way, ACL tear, they lose to a Giants team with a rookie starting his first game. That was a horrid loss. So I don't know. Let me just take a peek here, by the way, because obviously the Bills are now 4-0. The Indianapolis Colts are currently down 13-10 at half. If the Colts lose to the Rams, the Bills are now the lone undefeated team in the AFC with very winnable games coming up here. So as crazy as things have been, you know, seeming, and it's not been the best ball for the Bills, they are in the best spot imaginable, which is awfully weird. This has been an awfully weird start to the year. You know, and then next week you have the Patriots. Speaking of weird, the Panthers beat the Falcons last week, 30-0. The Falcons then this week score 34 points on the Commanders and beat Washington, who was in the NFC Championship last year. Then those Panthers, who scored 30 and blanked the Falcons, lost to the Patriots today, 42-13. And that's who the Bills have up next. The Patriots coming off their best performance in a long time, scoring 42 points. Next week will be interesting, right? Because I think the Patriots are good enough to where a game like today might not go the way you'd hope it would. Because I think the Patriots are just better than the New Orleans Saints. So there's just a lot to look at here. You know, but you're talking about the defense. I don't know if it's, I don't think you're going overboard here. You know, I think the third down defense wasn't as bad today, but you made some great points that I think aren't being factored into the numbers. And that is Spencer Rattler missed a couple of very, very easy throws. There was also a couple drops too. Those numbers could have been even better. And a better quarterback and a better team are converting those plays. Even last week, the Dolphins are a better team and they converted. They converted basically every third down that they faced, or at least all their third and longs. So that is certainly one of the concerns. The third down defense, one of the several concerns right now on the defensive end of things. The run game That's the primary concern. I think those two things, the third down defense and the run defense. Then, in terms of just personnel, you got Bernard got banged up today. I don't think the linebacker play has been great. You talked about Benford, Taylor Rapp on the back end. Shout out Cole Bishop, had an interception today. It wasn't on Spencer Rattler. It was on that trick play. How big was that, by the way? Because the Saints were on the 4-yard line. That was guaranteed points if they don't get cute there and throw that ball. And it was an unbelievable play made by Bishop, a one-handed interception, his first career interception. Tre'Davious White's really standing out to me, though, right now. It's really disappointed me. Tre'Davious White looks like a 31-year-old corner out there right now.
With two bad injuries on top of that.
Of course. And last week, right, you saw Waddle just on an island on that slant route in the, within the 7-yard line against the Dolphins. Today, he had that holding call on him, but it wasn't just the holding call. He got smoked off the line, smoked. And there were a few moments today where you're like, oh man, Trey White was looking so good during the preseason here. But then of course he got hurt again and he wasn't available week 1. He was banged up again. And now he's out there and it's seeming as though he is now what he was for the Rams and for the Ravens. Maybe a little bit better, but I think that there are moments you're watching the game and you're like, man, Tre'Davious White's kind of seeming like a bit of a liability now. And I hate to say that because I love Tre'Davious White, but it's the truth. I mean, it's the truth right now. I think there's been good individual efforts at times throughout the year here defensively, but if we're talking about a collective effort, the only performance collectively that was top to bottom good was the Jets game. And who are the Jets? I mean, who are the Jets? What is that offense?
I mean, let's keep. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's just, dude, it's the Jets offense. I mean, I don't know if it gets a whole lot worse. I think we might have looked at it better. We looked at that probably with a shade of rose-colored glasses because of what they had done the week prior to the Steelers, where those Jets were coming off of a 32-point outing against the Steelers defense that I think we thought was better up until this point. They should be. They're the highest paid in the league, and it hasn't been that great. They were a bit better today. They won this morning out in Dublin. But this defense, if you rule out a Jets game that I think many would say, yeah, if you're going to have a good outing, more than likely would come against that Jets offense, right? You got 3 games now with 3 offenses that are of varying degrees of good, right? You have about as good of an offense as you'll find in the Ravens. You have at this point, mediocre offense with the Dolphins. That's just what they are. And you have a below average offense with the Saints. All 3 of those teams found ways to do things successfully against this Buffalo Bills defense. So once again, here we are, right, Rico? Here we are again, going into October. And and this is the most disheartening thing, despite the amount of additions made, all of the draft capital essentially being dedicated to that defense, numerous acquisitions. And we'll see if things change when Ogunjobi and Hoyt are available. Yep. But up until this point, you don't see that step forward, Rico, that I know you and I were desperately waiting to see. And we're hopeful that we were going to see up until this point.
And you more specifically, you're talking about from the young guys or just from this defense in total?
Well, just in general. I mean, I thought Joey Bosa was dominant against the Jets, but there were points today where he's in the backfield and he's just in the wrong spot. He's not in the right spot. And then, the other guy, I think individually, Rico, obviously Tre'Davious White fits within that. He's newly added this year as well. Deion Walker, the addition, I thought he's had some really great moments, some phenomenal moments. But, collectively, veterans and rookies, Rico, I just think up until this point, it's been a whole lot of, man, I don't really see how much benefit they're getting from this right now.
Correct. So luckily for the Bills, and we had no choice but to do this because of the money that we don't have. We had to bring back familiar faces that are familiar with this scheme because we didn't have the money to go get the talent. Let's keep it a buck. The defense doesn't have enough talent to do that. Joey Bosa is great and all, but he's also above 30. All right. And he's an injury prone guy. We are, let's be real. We are just he actually finished the game and he's not hurt because we're just waiting for Joey Bosa is not up yet and he's this and he's that. And then we're like, crap, what are we going to do? Greg Rousseau has been quiet as a church mouse. Didn't hear a whole lot from Greg Rousseau. Not a whole lot of pressure come from Greg Rousseau. So like, what's going on with that? So collectively, this defense is not doing great. Yes, we kept our homegrown guys, but this is where when you keep your homegrown guys, you get your second contract, you step your game up. You step your game up. You don't just chill. And that's what it's felt like for some of these guys. They've got paid and they've chilled, except for James Cook. James Cook is earning his keep. When Ed Oliver got paid last year or the year before, I can't remember, he was on it, nearly 10 sacks. That boy was on it. So I need to see my Greg Rousseau step up. I need to see my Bernards. And Bernard played decent today, but too many missed tackles, too many wrong angles. A whole lot of things were going down. So at the end of the day, we need more from this defense if we're really going to make a run and if we're really going to be respected, because I'm waiting for a team to say, I don't give a rat's A about Bills being at 4-0. These are the Patriots. Patriots are right now are 200. Sorry, 200. They're 2-2 out of 400 out of 500 record. My math is all off, right? So they're like, hey, fellas, we have an opportunity. This is a division game. We have an opportunity to get up to above 500. Let's take down these Bills, a division team. So as much as we want to talk about, some of the lesser teams that we're going to be playing, bro, they're going to give the biggest key here is they're going to be giving us their best no matter what. So we can't have one of these performances. So this defense is going to have to step their game up. And that's where Babbage and McDermott got to tear into these guys on Tuesday. Victory Monday, you don't deserve it. With that type of victory, get your asses in the office and we got things to talk about. But that's the way I stand on this defense and what this how they performed. I mean, there's a few things I do want to touch on, but before we do, we're going into the bottom of the hour. I want to touch on some of the super chats a little early if you want to get in there. So we got some members that we got to congratulate for joining us. We got Dragos coming in and becoming a member. You know what I mean? New member all over. Listen, Carbones. This is the owner of Carbones, the pizza spot?
If it is, hook it up. Hook it up.
Hook it up, baby. Let's go.
I love it.
Shout out to Carbones. Welcome to becoming a YouTube member. If you guys are all wondering how to become a YouTube member, it's very simple. sportbf.com, or there's a little link at the bottom where you can actually become a member, and we'd love to have you. Led Robster, what's Led Robster saying?
Whoa, Mitchie is coming in with an absolute banger. Give him a little love. Yeah, there we go. Here is $1 for every rush yard allowed by our vaunted Buffalo Bills defense. I hate being negative, but we have to stop the insanity of missed tackles, soft coverage, and slow pursuits. Bean, get on the phone. BF is the best channel on YouTube. Go Bills, and I'm not reading that second part, especially after what my Nittany Lions did last night, Mitch. But go Bills indeed. Yeah, I mean, Mitch, we just talked about it. Yeah, we really appreciate it. That's an unbelievable super chat, Mitch. Jeez, thanks so much. Seriously.
Much love. I know there's you're being cheeky. I've always wanted to use that, by the way. You're being cheeky here,
yeah,
Mr. Mitch, but we appreciate that nonetheless. Love it, and we love the support. Big shout out to you. You don't want to say the last part? Go Bucks. You don't want to do that?
Hell no, not after last night. I get my Nittany Lions. James Franklin, you think you got it, but you think sometimes it's bad with McDermott. You have no idea. James Franklin, how this man, he is contracted through 2031, and he is now 4-21 against top 10 teams. And year after year, this Penn State, dude, it is some of the most highway robbery unlike I have ever seen. This team has been the same exact team every year under this guy, yet this year was supposed to be the best team they had. And last night was abysmal. Oh, by the way, another score update. Chiefs 20, Ravens 7.
Whew.
About to head into the half. So they're back.
And you know what? And we all know that Lamar don't play well from behind. He don't play well from behind. So this is where he's going to have to really gut check himself. Hey, Mr. MVP. And I love Lamar. And I think we both love Lamar. If you're an MVP, you're a true MVP, you need to do it right now. The same way Josh willed us against your guys, you need to will your team against these Chiefs. And if you don't, I don't want to hear nothing about Ravens fans talk about MVP. Sit this one out. Sit this one out. I mean, really, that 2023 season shouldn't have been MVP season. Let's be real. Let's give it a buck, Tyrod. Those are Tyrod numbers. I don't want to hear it. But anyway, you won it nonetheless, and I still love him and respect him. But golly, I want to see what this guy's capable of doing. You got Derrick Henry over here. You got yourself. Stop it. You got D-Hop. I don't want to hear it. You got to do what you got to do. By the way, Jackie Stensterd. Am I reading that right? Stensterd?
I think that sounds about as good as I do. Yeah.
As good as it's going to get. Jackie, appreciate the love. And listen, I got to give you some love. Welcome to the YouTube team. Appreciate you. Dan Echo coming in hot. He says, classic trap game. I get injuries, suspensions, but run D's certifiably bad. 180 rush yards allowed. Worst team in the NFC. Bend, not break. Once again, ultimately, ugly win over pretty loss. P.S. Go Jays. Oh, we got a Canadian on our hands. What up, Dan Echo? What up, B? Go Jays indeed. And he's not wrong, man. Everything he just said is correct, right? Was this a classic trap game? Was it a trap game? I don't think so. We just made it hard for ourselves. But I guess this is what you call a trap game. I don't know. It's a weird one. But I mean, listen, I get it. Suspensions, injuries. Nobody wants to hear anything about that. Everybody's dealing with their own issues. What they need to do is get the dub, and that we did. We got the dub, but it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. But you know what? Ugly win over pretty loss. Listen, I'll take that too. What do we got from my guy? The breakdown.
Jackson Haw TDs Jackson Haw's TD last week, this week, Cole Bishop INT. No, this is Paul, by the way. This is Paul from England who cashed that Jackson Haw's ticket last week. What up? How about this? He's got another slip this week. This man is a fazant. I need the Mega Millions numbers, Paul, because he had Cole Bishop ticket for an interception today, plus 3,500. He said he called it on the preview show. Didn't play well, but a win's a win. Dude, how about the run Paulie's on right now?
Oh, you're on a listen. Next time you trying to put something, send me a little something. Be like, yo, I got the inside scoop on this. Yo, me and Z-Bot will gladly put that in there for you. Damn. Shout out to my guy Paul from the UK. What up, Paul? Love it. Love it. Let me see what we got from my man Jason Miller. Jason Miller, what up, Jace? He goes, hey, Cook equals amazing. He's absolutely is. Not Brady's best offensive coordinator game. No balance. That is correct. There was no balance. And we're going to talk on that in just a little bit. Fourth down play made no sense. There was a lot of that going down. Personally, could care less about downfield passing. Let the run set up the pass, move the chains, control the clock. If you do that, Mr. Miller, you have to concede that this offense, it runs through James Cook. And some fans might say, no, it doesn't. James Cook's just a secondary guy. Our guy is Josh Allen. Don't you dare say that. Well, the run game is what's been setting us up for success. And Josh is part of the run game. That's what makes us so good, because we can become balanced and unpredictable. So I totally get that part. But at the end of the day, we might have to admit that, hey, man, we are a running team more so than a passing team. But I think we're more balanced. But there's some games that's going to ask for more of one thing than the other. So at the end of the day, yes, we're balanced. But I mean, shoot, right now, thus far, it's looking like this run game is what's keeping us, going. So shout out to my guy, Jason Millard. And we got some love from Dakota Jeffords. I don't know what Dakota Jeffords is trying to say, but he's just showing some love to us. We'll take it. Salute to you, Mr. Jeffords. What's my man Panda saying?
Score update, by the way. Lamar Jackson fumbles the ball at their own 40. Chiefs with the ball before minute and a half left. They are approaching blowing out the Baltimore Ravens at home. This is absolutely unbelievable. Crazy. Fluff, good to see you as always, brother. What's more likely, Chiefs imploding and fans turning on Reed, or Ravens imploding and fans turning on John? Would you rather face in the playoffs, Ravens or Chiefs? Well, I hate to answer your question in hindsight here, Fluff, but I can only work with what I'm watching right now. And it looks like the Ravens fan base and John Harbaugh are on the brink of implosion, because just right now with Xavier Worthy's catch, the Chiefs are in field goal range with a minute left before the half here. Who would I rather face? I don't know. This is a tough question for me. The Bills are better than the Chiefs, I think, but they have a history of not being able to beat them. The Bills are inferior to the Ravens, I think, but they have a history of beating them. So this question to me is awfully odd. I feel like I'd want to play the lesser team, and I thought the Chiefs were that. But I think we're also seeing now, with the Chiefs having 20 points and counting here, the Chiefs haven't been able to score all year. The Ravens' defense is atrociously bad, like abysmally bad. And so right now with that, Fluff, I think I might have to say Ravens, and I think I would have had a different answer maybe even like 2 days ago.
I'm torn. I don't know which one I'd rather face. I mean, right now, we tend to have matchup issues against the Ravens. It's a matchup thing, right? With the Chiefs, we're so familiar with the Chiefs. It's just it could go either or. But right now, Mahomes is getting his weapons back, and we're gonna start to really see what these Chiefs are made of. They still don't have that pass rush. Excuse me, not the pass rush. They don't have that rush that I think that they could. I think they're one big piece away offensively from really being scary. Pacheco and Hunt, they just don't do it for me. But the fact that Xavier Worthy's back, they're going to get Rashee Rice at some point after suspension. Then they'll start looking at the good old Chiefs. So at the end of the day, the competitor in me says, yo, I don't care who we play. And picking who you'd rather play, I think I'll plead the fifth on that one. I don't know what I'm gonna choose on that one there. But great super chat by my man Fluffy. Appreciate you. And let's go. What's Dakota saying, man? Dakota.
For years, the Bills have always let bad quarterbacks play well. But when we play elite teams, we step up. We need to stop playing down to opponents. It did feel like today, it didn't feel like this as much last week against Miami. But when you look at the amount of penalties today, you look at some of the throws Josh Allen forced today, this felt like a game where they played down. I don't know if they played like that last week. Last week just felt like it was more of like an average showing that resulted in a performance that wasn't as amazing as maybe you'd hope. Today, it just felt like they played down. It felt like they were playing with their food. It felt like they knew they were 16-point favorites. That's how today felt to me.
Yeah, and I'm gonna agree with that. There's not much really else to add to that. We just need to be better. We just need to be better. So Dakota, appreciate that super chat, man. We love it, and let's keep it up. Oh snap!
The Kinger.
The King. What's the Kinger saying to us? Talk to me.
J King, what up, player? A win is a win. So they say. Bullshit, says Jeff King. A win is not a win. That's like boasting, saying, I got laid at the prom. Well, did you bang the prom? Oh, God, Jeff King, you're putting me in a spot here. Holy hell. He's saying, did you get with the prom queen or did you get with lesser than, is essentially what my man Jeff King is saying here. A win ain't a win. Sometimes they are a statement of your character. I mean, there's two ways to look at this, and I think both are valid, right? One is that the Bills are 4-0, and in all likelihood at the end of this, they could end up being the only undefeated team in the AFC after the day's end. But then to King's point here, 4-0, and you know, in all four games, they haven't looked great. So I hear you. I think there's two ways to look at this, and I don't know what we know about these Bills just yet, because they're going to have two games coming up here where you look at the opponents as inferior. So is it that Chiefs game and we finally realize what the Bills currently are? I have no idea, but yeah, I understand wholeheartedly that looking at this and not thinking a win is satisfactory enough. I get it.
I totally get it. And you gotta love Jeff King. Jeff King,
pull,
no punches. You don't. And let me clean this up a little bit. No, that's how I feel. I want you to read it all. So love what Jeff King said, and I love this last statement. Sometimes they are a statement of your character. You can look at it two ways. Okay, statement of your character meaning, all right, when push comes to shove, yo, we gotta pull the sleeves up, right? Pull the old sleeves up, pull up the old socks is what they say. Give it the old college try. All those little sayings. That's what you can read from this, right? It's a character of their it's a statement of their character, meaning, okay, let's buckle up, guys. Okay, let's get our act together. When we needed to make a stop, we made a stop. Epinesa getting the strip sack, Epinesa getting the sack to really put them away. When push comes to shove, we got to make something happen. Go back to the Cole Bishop, right? They're pushing, they're knocking on our doorstep. Freaking Philly special. My man says, nope, return to sender. Thank you. Let me take that. And what a great interception that was. One hand, take it back. You love that. So when push comes to shove, they did what they need to do. But why does it have to get to that point? Why does it have to be when someone shove you up against the board, up against the locker, and that's when you want to fight back? Sometimes you got to be the bully. You got to be the bully. But we were kind of pushed around in our yard a little bit today. I didn't really like that. Right. And getting pushed around by the lesser team. Nah, you can't have that. So I get that part, but I also get the statement. You mean sometimes the statement of your character. Yo, we play with our food. Like you said, Bot, playing with your food too much, man. What are we doing? Like, y'all play too much. And you keep playing, you're gonna F around and find out. And one team is going to is gonna make you understand what F around and find out about. Right. You still got to play the Bucks, you still got to play the Patriots, still a division team, you still got to play the Eagles, you still got to play the Bengals, right? So there's a lot of things I got to play that got to take place in this. So keep that in mind as well. So appreciate you, Jeff King, and always love when man comes in with a super chat. My man Jason Miller came back and says defense bailed the offense today. Wow, hold on. Defense bailed? Oh, bailed on the offense today. Or are you saying they bailed out the offense? Am I reading that right? What am I reading here?
I think he means that they bailed on the offense, meaning that they kind of,
on the offense. Yep,
they were just, I mean, look, I don't know how much I mean, there's parts of that I agree with, but I don't know if it was in totality. I mean, there were parts of this game where the offense was just gone. The offense was gone. I mean, that's what's so weird about a game like this. You score 31 points. there were moments in this game where the offense was non-existent. And there were a couple of moments where you were left scratching your head. You're like, man, like, what was that? Like when Allen threw that ball up to Dawson Knox down the sideline, what was that? I don't know what that was. Allen was throwing a couple of deep balls today that I didn't quite understand. And then you threw the interception, which I know it happens, but that is uncharacteristic right now. And you know, they had 14 points going into half. They had 21 midway through the second quarter. So yeah, you could say that, and it's certainly true at times, but I also think the offense bailed on the offense a couple of times today too.
I have a theory. I'm gonna write this down because I gotta hit that. In just in a second. But I have a theory on this Josh Allen and his uncharacteristic throws today. But I'm going to touch on these super chats real quick and go from there. Signified Notes comes in and says, hey, at what point is it on Babbage? I have my problems with McDermott, but 2 years ago, he made a good defense out of scraps and practice squad guys. We have way more talent than 2 years ago, and Babbage can't get them together. I'm not going to sit here and blame it on Babbage. I mean, I'm sure he's got some blame, but I'm not going to put fully on him. There comes a point where when do we start telling these players to be accountable for their assignments? Be accountable for your assignments, right? You got Cam Lewis. You're not supposed to be on the field, but you're still on the field. What are you doing? You're running to the sideline, having your coach have to force to take a timeout. That's on Babbage? Okay, so there's 10 guys on the field. Who the hell is supposed to be on the field? Is that on Babbage? No, that's execution. That's knowing what the hell you're supposed to do. So to say, when is it going to be on Babbage, bro? There is some fault on Babbage, but there's a lot. The guys that are playing between the white lines are the guys you got to look at as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it. Anything you want to touch on that, or are you good with that?
No, I mean, I agree with you. I pretty much totally agree with you there. I'm very interested to see what it looks like when Oliver gets back, and then you have Hoyt and Ogunjobi. I'm hoping to see some improvement there. I really am. But, you know, we were also hoping to see improvement with some of these other guys added too. And there's been flashes, but, you know, and you encapsulate the whole month here, I don't think we've seen an overall improvement at all.
No question about it. Oh, whoa.
GQ Bob.
GQ Bobby. What's GQ Bobby saying for us, man?
GQ Bob is saying, as Bills fans, we can't expect teams to roll over. Saints, Miami fought hard after tough losses. At 4-0, we're scoring 30+, but still have room to improve. And that balance of winning while learning makes us dangerous down the stretch. Style points is not a stat.
Let me get on that.
Okay.
Let me get on that. I love what GQ Bob said, because I was just about to say this thing, right? Think about it. Let's just say the Bills play the Saints. Okay, well, let's just say we play the Saints and we lose to the Saints. Okay. We did all the things that we did today, but we lose to the Saints. Next week, it's almost like, you know what? Good luck, Patriots, because we're pissed. We're coming after you. We're about to do everything we need to do to you. The Saints got freaking beat down hard. It was 38-6 at halftime. The Seahawks laid off of them. You know what I mean? To kind of make it respectable. They didn't really pour it on. So the Saints were pissed. There's a sense of pride that you have to have in your squad. So the whole week must have been like, yo, we're going to Buffalo. Let's make a statement against one of the best teams in the league. That's a contender. If we really want to show what's good with us, let's try to bring our best. Let's go, right? So we're going to get everybody's best. So this is pretty much what GQ Bob is saying. Pretty much so. So I'm with you, GQ Bob. But fam, at the same time, we ain't supposed to let these Saints play around with us like that. You know what I mean? You can bring your best. Your best shouldn't even, at our mediocre, we should be able to handle you no problem. You can be at your best and we don't come out and play pretty much like today. That was our mediocre. I think we could be way better than we were, but we still handled it. So we played with our food a little bit too much, GQ Bob. But I totally respect what you're saying, because you're on it. So appreciate that super chat, huge super chat, and much respect, because we do respect that very much. So we got a few more super chats, and then we're gonna get into a little bit more on this Josh Allen theory that I have. My man Jay from Canada, I know where you at. Says, crazy that Josh Allen, our team's biggest weakness, is downfield plays. Very Dorsey style play calling today, and I hated it. He wasn't feeling that. I got something to bring to you about Josh Allen in just a moment. So I appreciate that, Jay. Put a button in that. I'm gonna get that. Dakota comes back, says, sorry about the blank message. I'm legally blind. I don't mind supporting you boys. Best in the biz. First time I've had an opportunity to support the show. Man, Dakota, we appreciate you. And I hope that you meant you're legally blind, meaning you didn't mean to give $9. You meant to give $1.99. So, but nonetheless, we appreciate it nonetheless, brother. If it was $9.99 or $1.99, we appreciate the love regardless. So, Dakota, appreciate you. Much love. And last super chat until we can hit some super chats later on. Matt says, I'm a positive guy. Our tight ends are cooking. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I love what I've seen out of Haas. And like I said earlier, Kincaid's off to the best start of his career. So, yeah, I don't have many complaints about the tight end room right now. It's been great.
I like it. I like it so far. So here's my theory on Josh Allen. Tell me what your thoughts are on Josh Allen. Josh has a cannon of an arm. Josh loves to go downfield. Josh, at one point, was not a guy that would check down and take what's underneath. He wants the big play. That's what he's accustomed to, and he's had to dial it down, right? And he did last year with a mixture, trying to come together and do what he needs to do. And it resulted in him getting an MVP. This year, especially the last couple games, we're like, hey, man, like all this underneath from Josh. What's going on? I know I get it. You're taking what the defense gives you, but we have a problem and we don't know how to go deep. We have an issue. So I wonder, in that theory, I think Josh was trying to push it a little bit. You'll notice the game plan. The last 2 games, it's been, let's focus on the tight ends. Let's focus on the tight ends. You had the targets. Those at one point, we had 12 targets thrown to the tight ends at one point. This game, did you not notice? Josh Palmer was involved early. Khalil Shakir was involved early. Keon Coleman was involved early. So the game plan was to get the outside guys going. So maybe they saw something on film that they can really get after it. But Sanker had other things to say about that. But nonetheless, they were trying to do something. And Josh was trying to, open things up. But there's one point where he was like, yo, let me let it fly a little bit, because people think all of a sudden I can't go deep all of a sudden. But this almost put him in trouble, right? One was almost intercepted easily, got bobbled, and it got dropped. My gosh. If you don't remember that one, I do. I was like, oh, there goes the second pick. Oh, he dropped it. And then we have the interception that he actually threw. And there were moments that he was just not, like you said, making uncharacteristic throws. So was he trying to push it to prove that, I can still go deep? And then he finally had to say, okay, let me dial it back a little bit. Let me do what's best for this team, and let's get back to it. So is there a bit of both? I'm sure. But then when he had to kind of like, all right, let me calm down. Let me just make the plays I need to play, make the plays I need to make. I'll do them. But we saw old Josh Allen rear his head, but a good one, when he was like third and short a little bit. I'm running up that middle. Man, I thought he was going to get caught and have us actually forego and actually have to punt the football. But he went for 27 yards. I was like, that's the old Josh, and I know. And then when he hit Kincaid on that touchdown, when he walked to the sideline, it was like, oh, I love that Josh Allen. That fiery Josh Allen, when he's like, get out of my way. That's the type of guy I love. So I think he's still kind of like trying to figure himself out as to like, what kind of quarterback am I trying to be here? Because am I just a game manager type quarterback? I know I'm not. Sometimes I got to let these guys know that I still got a cannon. But for the sake of the game, bro, just take what they give you. Let's keep getting these dubs. It's eventually going to come there, because we saw it in the Ravens game. This boy was dialing. He was boo, boo, boo all over the place. So that was a theory I had. I don't know if you guys saw the same thing a little bit or see the same thing, but I love what Josh Allen is doing now. Just take what the defense is giving you. When you need to, break glass and do what you need to do it. But we'll get there eventually. So that's my theory on Josh. On those that are like, is he? What's going on with his offense, bro? I think we'll be sure we're fine. We're putting up 30 points, and it was like effortless. 30 points, boom, done. So we got it. I think I'm okay with what Josh is doing right now.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to be okay with it. To that point about the deep balls not being a strength of this team, though, it isn't. It is not. Whether that's by choice or it is what it is, I don't know. You don't really see a whole lot of plays being made down the field where the ball is thrown and a receiver goes up and makes a play deep. The deep shots we've seen, it's now 2 weeks in a row, they were both Kincaid deep balls that were wide open, right? I have a tough time getting upset about not doing this, though, when they're scoring at the rate in which they are. I mean, Josh Allen now has 3 touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. Yes, I don't really care how they come. Like, I'm not going to sit here and give a damn about whether or not the touchdown came on a 98-yard bomb like you had to Gabe Davis a few years ago against the Steelers, or if it comes on a tush push. I don't care, because to me, 7 points is 7 points. I mean, contrary to Jeff King's point earlier about a win is a win not being a win, to me, 7 points is 7 points. I mean, I really don't care how they're scoring it. I just don't. I will say, though, I don't know how great this team is at throwing the ball deep if they have to do it. They were able to do it against the Ravens, but we're seeing more and more as the year goes on that Ravens D is just really, really bad. I mean, I don't think we've seen a whole lot of air attack against a decent defense. Then again, I don't know if the Bills have really faced a decent defense yet. Rico, have they? I think they've played 4 pretty bad defenses up until this point. So I just don't know. You're seeing other teams, though, throughout the league. They do throw the deep ball a lot more. You're seeing Daniel Jones, I think, throw the deep ball a lot more right now. I'm seeing Baker Mayfield in the chat. He's constantly whipping it down the field. But, then again, Josh Allen, through this point of the year, I mean, how many total touchdowns does Josh Allen have right now? So I'm struggling. He's got 5 passing touchdowns and a couple on the ground. So I don't care how they come. It'll be interesting to see if they're forced into having to go deep, what that looks like. The one time they was against the Ravens, and, that ended up working out in their favor. So we'll see. But I think it is noticeable to that point. I think it is a struggle right now. I don't think that that's necessarily a part of their offense that they want to be going with right now if they don't have to, Rico.
You're spot on. You're spot on. I have nothing else to really add to that, because that's just that's the reality of how this what we're at right now. Luckily, week 4 in the books. It's still early in the season, and games like this are not a bad thing. Now, here's the flip side. Here, let me get on the positive side of this. You need games like this and games like the Ravens game to remind you. Okay, the Ravens game, down 4, is around you. Okay, this team still has resiliency. We can still come back and still do what we need to do to get through it. Games like today against the Saints is like, bro, you keep messing around and not executing and doing the things you need to do, bad teams will come in and beat you guys. So be on, you know what I mean? Get your mental right. And so the flip side is you need games like this to give you a reminder that, hey, man, quit playing games, because these are the type of teams that can come in and beat you. I mean, listen, today alone, I think we were one of the top least penalized teams in the league. I think we were number 1. I know we were top 5, 100%. Today alone, we had 11 penalties for 55 yards. 11 penalties. Bro, that's not great. You can't do that. We go from really minimizing the penalties and then we just lose focus. And having 11 penalties on top of that, getting your coach to call 2 timeouts, like, bro, you can't win games like this, right? We're talking about like third downs. The Saints converted on 5 of 13. A couple more conversions that these guys dropped. This is a 50% conversion team. So there's things that we need to fix, but then there's also, you got to hit the film and say, hey, where do we go wrong? So that stands out a lot when watching games like this. So it's learning lesson that this team is going to have to kind of like get over. But you got to be coached hard. McDermott's got to drill it into them. Babbage got to drill it into them so they understand what's at stake here. So that's the way I look at it. But yeah, you were bang on with what you said.
Yeah, it's been awfully efficient. I've actually loved what we've seen from Allen. Outside of the pick today, I think we'd walk away saying we didn't like a couple of the decisions he made down the field, but 16 to 22, 209 yards, 3 total touchdowns. He had his best rushing day of the year too, I think. I mean, dude, if that's the bar and he's fallen beneath of it, once again, like it's hard for me to have an issue with it. I saw some comments in here about, the Bills haven't really been able to prove that they can throw the ball without establishing a run game. But I'm not worried about the Bills not being able to establish a run game. They've been establishing a run game for the last 2 seasons consecutively. The Bills can run the football about as good as any team in the league. So I'm not worried about the Bills being faced in a situation where they have to exclusively throw it. And if they are, I trust Allen to still be able to take what's given to him. He has proven that. I mean, I know he threw a pick today, but still, the vast majority of the Josh Allen-led offense has been incrementally moving it down the field and getting it into the end zone. That has resulted in 4 straight games to start the season with W's and 30-plus points. I can't knock it. I really can't.
I will tell you this, because we're talking about rushing. The Bills are the best rushing team in the league right now.
Yeah.
So we're averaging 163 yards a pop. Next team in line, Washington Commanders. After that, Indianapolis Colts. So we will run the football. We will be a balanced team, and if we have to, we're a very balanced team. Let's keep it a buck here, and I think that's what makes us even more dangerous, because James Cook is not just your he's okay back, right? Because that's where I was at. He's okay. He's a good back. He's got speed, but now he's proven that he can do it all. I mean, most of his runs today were right in between the tackles. As small as he is, right? What, a $190, if that, maybe less, just shy of 200 pounds. Bro, this ball was running and sliding through the inside of the tackle. So you love to see those things. So we are fantastic at running the football. However, defensively, we're one of the worst at stopping the run. So this is where the defense is going to have to, make some crucial changes. So hopefully by, like you said, week 6, when some of these guys come back, and hopefully those fresh legs help out, I think we'll see a lot of good things take off and us do really well. So that's the way I look at it in that regards, in terms of what's taking place right now. Update: what's going on with that Chiefs Baltimore game? I thought I saw something that came up.
It's coming back to the third quarter here. It's just coming out of the half. So what I had said prior to the half, things had changed a bit. The Colts, by the way, they're up, they're down 13-10 still to the Rams. And that one's about to go to the fourth quarter in a couple of minutes. Another update: the Jaguars up 17-14 on the Niners. If they win, they're 3-1 sneakily, which is interesting. But this game's coming out of half here. Chiefs have the ball first. So before the half, Lamar Jackson fumbles the football. Chiefs get it, immediately get into field goal territory. Harrison Butker misses, Rico. Ravens get the ball back with 2 timeouts. They get into field goal range. They nail it. So it's currently 20-10. First drive of the third quarter. Chiefs have the football.
All right, so it's trending towards the Chiefs running away with this one. One thing I did as part of my notes, I was writing some things down as we were doing our stuff here. The Saints had a great opportunity to double dip.
Yes.
Right? And you mentioned it earlier, and I gotta come back, because they were marching. Had they put points on the board, even just a 3, right? And then they get the ball back. That was a huge stop by the Bills. So as much as we want to bag on the Bills, like I said earlier, but when push comes to shove and they need to make a stop, they're usually good for that. It's just, we just happen to be in a situation where sometimes we allow these things to take place too often. So this is where we need to be better a little bit. But I mean, listen, this is a lesson. Just because we didn't lose this game doesn't mean that we didn't take lessons in this game. There were some lessons to be had, but we also had some growth. That interception by Cole Bishop, you never know. Sometimes the light switch goes on, and then we're like, okay, we got Cole Bishop's been playing on some next level stuff. Maybe this is him kind of getting warmed up, and we're about to see another level of Cole Bishop. So sometimes these things do work, but we're gonna get some guys back, and we'll see how it all shakes out. Milano, who knows when he'll be back, but it'll be nice to have him back. Ed Oliver doesn't seem like he's coming back anytime soon. He's still hobbling on that leg, so we're still got to wait for that. And Max Harrison, we're waiting on that 21-day window. So hopefully at one point we get all these guys back and we'll truly see what this defense is like. But my man Walter said something pretty interesting. He says, hey, he doesn't want to find out in the playoffs against the Chiefs or Chargers or etc. that our pass game doesn't work without the run game. I mean, we've seen Josh in the playoffs. Like, what more do you need to see? I mean, this
team's not just going to go out there and throw the ball around the field just for the F of it. Like, they're going to run the ball if they can. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to go out there. Yeah, they're not going to go and just prove to themselves, can we throw the football, by just doing that exclusively. They have been giving absolutely no reason to not continue to run the football the way that they are. It's the way that they're winning these games in a very significant way. So if it gets to that point, well, then that's just on the Bills. Or that's on their opponents, I guess. I'm not going to expect the Bills, just to prove it to themselves, have Allen go out there and throw it 38 times so they can win a football game without running the ball, just to say that they did it. You know what I mean? Now, to your point on Cole Bishop, by the way, Rico, and this is the point I make all the time.
Yeah.
With this defense, for all their flaws, like, once again, they always make a play in a major moment every game. Like, for as poorly as they play for a good chunk of the football game, in the vast majority of these games, almost every time they make a massive play in a massive moment. You just touched on, and I touched on it earlier. Mm-hmm. If the Saints get points there, it's a different game. They were down 2 points at one point late in the football game. And if they would have gotten just 3 there, they would have been up. And it could have been a different football game. And if they got a touchdown there, it could have been a significantly different football game. So They make another play, and that wasn't just it wasn't a great decision by the receiver who threw the ball on that trick play, but it was a great play by Cole Bishop. That wasn't a gimme pick that just landed in his lap. He jumped up and made a one-handed interception. So once again, for all the criticism, you have to give the defense, deservingly so. And there's plenty in this game and plenty in a lot of these games. You have to give the praise, because could you imagine what it would be like if they don't make these plays? The Bills defense would be a significantly larger liability, if not for their ability to potentially be the best defense in the league at turning the ball over. That's what's, once again, I keep using the word odd or weird. A lot of odd elements of this team where some things just don't seem to add up. You wouldn't think a defense that struggles a lot would be considered to be the best at area of the game that is vastly important to the overall outcome of each and every game. They might be the best team in the league at forcing turnovers. And once again today, in a massive moment right down on the goal line, they make an incredible play. Cole Bishop gets his first interception. That could have been a major difference in the football game, and I think it was.
No, it definitely was, and it plays a part. And honestly, you'll have fans split on us talking about these Bills, because some folks might say this is all an overreaction. We're 4-0. What are you guys complaining about, or what are you guys talking about, right? And there are a lot of people that feel that way. And I need to share my screen real quick, just so I can and share this, because I love these. I just don't like to do going the back and forth. You and I are the same, but these are the type of things I would love to go back and forth with someone. And I got this football Ryan, happens to be a fan of mine apparently. He goes, "Attention Bills fans, do not listen to dudes like this, right? Every game is its own entity and its own script. Buffalo's missing 5 players, excuse. They have players learning on the fly, excuse. And 17 is on his way to his second MVP. Look at Baltimore and KC and even the Chargers today. Buffalo's 4-0. So what he's talking about is me coming in and saying, hey, we had 10 days to put a game plan together for a team that got their doors blown wide open, right? Today's overall performance was very underwhelming. And then you have people that don't agree with it. Underwhelming. We have a 4-0 team. We have an MVP, a guy that's going for MVP. Man, shut up, Ryan. Be quiet, right? There's 2 ways of looking at the game. Maybe looking at it just by box scoring and saying, hey, it's 4-0 and we cool. Nah, bro, if you really watch the game, there were some alarming things. And if we don't fix those alarming things, football Ryan, we're going to get our doors blown the F off by the Chiefs, or we're going to get blown out in the playoffs by the Chargers, right? So we need to fix these things right now, Mr. Football Ryan. We're 4-0. And then if we continue to play like this against good teams, we'll be 4-4. Knock it off, football Ryan. Anyways, those are things I want to type, but I don't got no time to type. So
I think there's 2 things that can be true here. Like the Bills can be 4-0 and we're all happy about it. Like 100%, we're all happy about it. But on the same foot, the standard anymore isn't the Bills getting out with a victory over the Saints, where you're like, oh, it's just that you got the W. Like I get both sides. Would you rather have the W than not, no matter how it comes? Of course. But we also know that the standard currently for these Bills is beyond winning the division, beyond winning 11, 12 regular season games. We are looking at these games through the lens of what they could potentially look like in the postseason. That's why there's criticism. No one's looking at this game saying, oh, what's this mean for next week? We're looking at this game saying, what's this mean for January? What's this mean for potentially February? What does all of this lead to? That's why I think that we're pointing these things out, and so are many others. You can't watch that game despite a 12-point margin of victory and a 31-point outing from the offense. You can't look at that game and be satisfied with the defense. You just can't. You allowed almost 200 yards of rushing. You allowed a team to hang around with you through the majority of the football game that is considered to be maybe the worst in the league. Now, speaking of worst in the league, I think it's official. I think the Ravens have the worst defense in the league. It is now 27-10 Chiefs over the Ravens. They are dominating. This offense looks as good as they did during the Tyreek Hill prime Kelsey era. They're doing whatever they want on the ground. Patrick Mahomes looks like an MVP yet again. Guys are wide open. He just hits Thornton in the back of the end zone between 2 defenders wide open. They score a touchdown in 3 minutes time, Rico, from the start of the second half. These Ravens are in trouble with this defense. Trouble.
Let me say something. This is why This is how MVPs are made of. And this is what makes people remember whenever the conversation with Lamar Jackson comes up and they say he's a 2-time MVP and he's this and that, but then there's some people that don't have him. Like if you're going to start a franchise with a quarterback who's on their list, Lamar's usually lower. And these are the reasons why. Dude, I need you to will do something, right? Break the glass. And I'm not saying that he's not trying to, but when Josh, you're never all the way out with Josh. And you can be down, but Josh can will you back into this freaking game. We don't see that with Lamar, man. And this is where Ravens fans, I guarantee you, if you start looking at Ravens fans and saying they're going to skirt around trying to put, I don't want to say put the blame on Lamar, but they're going to skirt around not giving Lamar heat the way he deserves the heat. Because, bro, you're a 2-time MVP. You're probably going to be a Hall of Famer. Bro, I need you to step up. If Derrick Henry's not doing his thing, cool. You have legs. You're not Joe Flacco. You know how to manipulate defenses. Do some. You saw Josh Allen do it. Yo, 4th and 2. Bro, don't bring the punt team on. Boom, beats the Chiefs on a 4th and 2 and iced them. Come on, man. This is the display is right in front of you. The display is right in front of you. So you love to see it. You love to see it. And Ravens going down. I don't know who I wanted to win, though. Did I want the Ravens to win? Did I want the Chiefs to win? I wasn't sure where I was at. What's statistically and for the records, what's best? Who did I need to lose, the Chiefs or the Ravens? I mean, shoot, I'm sure there's a couple losses coming to either team either way. So I'll take it the way I can. Take it the way I can.
I just can't believe the dominance here. I really thought the Ravens were going to win this game. I just thought they were the better football team. I thought offensively the Chiefs weren't going to be able to keep up with the way that they've looked. This is not only are they on pace to lose here, but to lose like this is interesting.
Nah,
I mean, this is interesting. And now the AFC is, by the way, 13-10, less than 12 left. Rams, Colts. Colts first and goal on the LA 2. They are about to go up on the Rams. Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts are about to have a lead in the fourth quarter on the Rams to potentially go 4-0.
Watch out. Here's another thing I got to say. Bro, Dable's as good as gone. Dable, you're gone. Whether you start Jackson Dart or not, you and Schoen should be gone. You let Saquon Barkley go. We don't want to pay him. Hey, go out and see what they'll give you and come back to us and let us know. What an absolute insult. Go F yourself. Oh, by the way, offensive player of the year. Oh, yeah, and I just won a Super Bowl. Oh, by the way, 2,000-yard rusher. Are you dumb? Daniel Jones is a bum. Get him out of here. He's about to lead his team to 4-0. Buddy, Dable, you're done, bud. You're finished. I don't want to hear nothing about Dable. All that. Nah, bro, you're done. Now, if he wants to be an offensive coordinator, maybe we'll invite you back because Joe Brady, probably someone's going to try to poach Joe Brady as a coordinator or not. Maybe the Dolphins get rid of McDaniel. Maybe we'll bring McDaniel to our squad. Either or. Bro, Dable, bro. Yo, you let Daniel Jones and those two, and they're both impactful there for their teams. And then you sitting here 0-4. Actually, you just won your game today, so kudos to you. But I think Jackson Dart is hurt. I think. Did he get hurt?
Dart got hurt towards the end. Malik Neighbors, like I said, out for the year. No, you bring up an interesting point because it's one thing to be bad, and the Giants have been terrible. But then to let a player walk in Saquon, the only player really worth his salt on that team at the time, he goes on to win Offensive Player of the Year, damn near sets the single-season rushing record, and wins a Super Bowl. Now you have Daniel Jones in the MVP conversation because that's reality right now, folks. Right. That is reality. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really get much worse. They just flashed a graphic, by the way, in terms of these Ravens on defense. The Chiefs have had 6 drives thus far. They haven't punted. Their worst drive is a missed field goal, and that was the one right before the half. So this is a Chiefs offense that has struggled noticeably all year. They have scored every drive but one, and that was a missed field goal.
Terrible.
And by the way, the Ravens offensively, they have 10 points. This is the other thing, like to your point that you were mentioning earlier about Lamar and maybe him, skating around heat in these games. Like they have 10 points here, and they've turned it over twice.
Look at the Dable's record, 19-36 as head coach. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I mean, and I get it. And that sucks because that Giants defense is actually pretty good Giants. It's the good defense. Does Mara, the owner, bring these guys back? Who knows?
I was shocked he brought him back last year. I thought the nail in the coffin was going to be that Hard Knocks where we saw unfold. Dude.
You couldn't have asked for an awful situation than that.
You saw the ineptitude in HD. Like, you had 4K video quality of these guys just letting the franchise walk away. And, they let Saquon walk, and like, what do you turn that into? Yep. And then to have him go and do what he does. The Daniel Jones thing here, though, is wicked. Because I think anyone would have said, yeah, you got to move off of Jones. But now you're looking at coaching, right? Because we've seen it with Sam Darnold. We've seen it with Baker Mayfield. Now we're seeing it with Daniel Jones, where all of a sudden you get in a good situation with good coaching, and boom, you're a whole different person.
You're a whole different person. By the way, speech is out.
Let's hear this.
Are we here for McDermott and his
I'm interested
locker? Yeah, you got Brandon Bean giving a show in here. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. All right, you ready for this one? Let me see. I gotta get my audio up. All right, everybody can see this. Perfect. Let's go. Let's press play.
Where is he?
Oh, we're clapping?
Hey, man, that's a big time win. At home, great freaking job, man. Proud of you guys. Give yourself a round of applause, man. Listen.
By the way, I need McDermott's hat. That's a sick hat.
You like that?
Oh, I like that one. That one's clean.
I'm serious, man. You got to celebrate it. I know we're better, and we will be better. Right? It's a great reminder that we have work to do. We got to stay humble every week, but you have to celebrate these wins because they are hard to come by. They're hard to come by, man, and we figured a way to win, and that's the important piece. Offense, defense, special teams. At the end of the day, in the second half, we started playing together. Not in the first half as much, but in the second half, we started playing together, and you see how hard you are to beat. All right, let's celebrate a couple of things. Number one, your freaking will to win, man. It's incredible. Great job, Josh.
You got Josh Allen?
Cole Bishop, first NFL.
Hey.
And then we got get a game ball right here. We got a big time celebration piece. Jimbo James Cook. Hang on. Broke a Bills all-time record. Great job.
He doesn't care.
Appreciate y'all. Hey, O-line, tight ends, all those that platform. Great job also. All right, hey, it's a great.
I think I know why Brandon Bean's there. Hopefully they say that he got his 90th win as a coach. Who knows? We'll see, but let's hope.
Big win, man. 1 o'clock win, right? Beautiful day in Western New York. It doesn't get any better than this, man. Stay humble. Keep finding ways to win. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
And there we have it. Speech. How do you feel? How do you feel about that? When coach comes in and says, "Hey, man, these games are hard to come by. Celebrate that win." How do you feel about those things?
They are. They're way harder than you and me realize. That is a fact. I mean, the reality is it is hard to win in this league. Like, it is. They were a bit more jovial there than I thought.
So true.
They were. True. I wonder what McDermott's feeling deep down about the state of the defense, the way it's played right now. He did seem pretty happy there. I mean, Allen didn't seem all that stoked about it. But they're right. I mean, at the end of the day, what's he supposed to do? Go in there and grill the guys? They did win, and they. This is, once again, I'm at a loss for words sometimes with this. It's weird. But I guess he was a little bit more jovial than I thought he would be. But then again, it is tougher, I guess, than we realize.
It's tough. Of course, it is tougher than we realize. Right? We're sitting here as the armchair GMs, if you will. Is it the same old speech? Yes, it is. But I mean, like you said, and it's factual. They're hard to come by. But like, how do you come in and lay a strip on everybody after a win? I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I mean, you still got to celebrate the W's, right? Because there were some good things that did happen in this game. I think Deon Walker flashed a lot. I think this guy's gonna be such a freaking star for us. Him and Ed Oliver together, I think that's gonna be great. Cole Bishop maybe coming into his own. So there's some good things to celebrate here, man. So Jackson Hawes, they seem to love this dude. I mean, listen, good things. We just got to put some things together. But I mean, there's things that obviously they need to clean up. Obviously, I'm sure McDermott, listen, the penalties were crap. We can do better than that. That changes everything. We got to get off the field on third downs. He's right about that. So hopefully those are things that they clean up. At least they know they have to clean them up. It's when you're messing up and you don't know where to start. That's when you're in trouble. I don't know where to begin. You know when there's a dirty house and you're like, dude, this place is such a mess. Like, you go to a hoarder's. I have a friend of mine that has a business, and he goes and cleans up hoarders' places. And I'm like, dude, when you walk in, where do you start? He goes, there are moments where I do not know where to start. But you got to start in the biggest spot and then tackle each room. You got to go from room to room and just do it that way. But sometimes there's houses that are so bad, you don't know where to begin. You can't even get into the front door. That's how bad it is. So sometimes at least we have a place where we know where to start. We know where the issues are. Clean here and clean up there, and we're back to normal again. Some places don't know where to start, i.e., you name a team right now that's in such disarray where they're like, whoa, what do we do here? Maybe the Saints don't know where to start, right? But at least they have a rookie quarterback that they're dealing with, that they're going to deal with soon, and a rookie head coach. So who knows? But there are some teams that are so bad you don't know where to begin with them. Like the Dallas Cowboys, that's a mess. That's a mess out there.
Oh, tonight too, Micah coming to town. That ought to be a fun watch.
Dude, that's a mess. Like that room, where do you start? I mean, you need to start upstairs in the penthouse, but you can't get to that room because that guy controls everything. So like, it's like the Dallas Cowboys, right? They're disarray on defense. Offensively, they didn't have a good showing. They got a $60+ million quarterback, bro. That's a messy house to go and clean. So at least our house is somewhat neat. I mean, we got a few things to tidy up and then call it a day, man. I call it that way. Anyway.
I can never fault them. I can never fault them for being happy after a win. Like, what am I supposed to do? Sit here and say McDermott's supposed to come in here and chuck one of those game balls at his head? Like, no, like you got to be satisfied. You don't have to be satisfied, but you have to be
content.
Willing to be happy with what you did. You have to be.
That's right.
Like Bleeding saying here. Update: Chiefs Ravens. Ravens get all the way down the field. It's 3rd and 1. Lamar Jackson sacked. He took 7 sacks against the Lions last week, sacked on 3rd and 1. They settle for a field goal of 27-13. The ensuing kick return, Rico, Chiefs bring it out to the 50. They're now currently on the 45. Mahomes surveying all day to throw, got a wide open player, and now the Chiefs are on the 40-yard line of the Ravens, up 14 points.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And the Colts now up 20-13 on the Rams. I mean, and then the Jaguars look like they're going to beat the Niners. So this is getting to be an interesting. The AFC right now is unlike anything I think many would predict a month ago.
Hey, you know what? Good point by Videsh.
Yes,
man. We gotta figure that part out. We gotta figure that part out, man.
I hope Cam Johnson's okay. Man.
Hopefully he came out. Thought Doc said it was an LCL. So something that you can kind of get over with some time off. I mean, a week's time off is not enough, and he's kicking, so that should be interesting. So look for, if we're in enough of a pinch, look for us to act. Wait, is he activated? Is he on our practice squad? Zach Davidson? We kept him, right? I can't recall if we kept him. I think we did keep him. So maybe Zach Davidson becomes our emergency punter for next game. I don't know. He's punted back in high school or college, so we'll see how that all shakes out in the end. So.
I hope he's all right, but I will say even prior to the injury, they have not been punting the ball well at all. They were given a couple of good field position spots, the Saints were today, off of really short yardage punts. So I don't know what the move is there, but I hope he's all right because he really got nailed on that. It looked like it was really painful.
It wasn't pretty. Was not pretty. We got a super chat coming in for our guy, Signified. Signified knows what up. He goes, hey, you two are tweaking over the Chiefs right now. I'm not going to say
who's tweaking
that they're back. I just think the Ravens defense is bad. Is that bad?
I would agree with
what he's saying is he's assuming that we're saying the Chiefs are back. He's just saying that the Ravens defense is that bad. I mean, both can be true.
I think definitely both can be true, but there's bad, and then they're looking. They do look better today, Kansas City. I mean, they're moving the ball well. They're going to score another touchdown here again. I mean, they're going to have plus 30 points. They didn't score more than 30 points once all regular season last year. So to your point, Signified, I do believe it has a lot to do with how bad the Ravens D is, but you got to give credit to the Chiefs today. They've picked it apart. I mean, they didn't look competent the first 3 weeks. So,
Thanks. I like it. Well, brother, anything else you want to jump in here? And I think I pretty much hit all the things I need to hit on. Anything you want to add?
No, I agree. I'll have more coming your way tomorrow night on the smoke break. We'll talk even more about it. I'll take another look at this game and break down even further what we saw and what needs to be worked on, what was positive. But yeah, I would agree with a lot of what we spoke on tonight and what a lot of people I think in here agree with. And that is that right now the Bills are 4-0. That's great. There's a lot of there's many elements of this team that you're very satisfied with, but there is elements of concern, and it is okay to be concerned with those elements despite being 4-0, because we know the goal isn't to go 4-0. We know the goal is to go to the Super Bowl. And I think we've seen some stuff from this team up until this point that indicates that they don't look like they're at that level yet. The one thing I will add, though, to that from the outside perspective, I haven't really seen a team all year that looks like they're at that level yet. I don't know how you feel, Rico, but I think every team up until this point, and just in watching league wide, I don't think one team has looked overly dominant every single week. The Eagles are the best team in the NFL, but they looked weak against the Cowboys in week 1.
I would have said the Chiefs. The Chiefs probably would have been the team that looked the best, but then today happened.
Chiefs.
So you're like, no, not the Chiefs, excuse me, the Chargers.
Oh,
and then today happened. You're like, oh, maybe not.
Right, like last week you thought it was the Packers, right? Then they lose to the Browns.
Yeah,
this week it's the Chargers. They lose to the Giants. So I would say right now, it's not like the Bills are falling behind the 8 ball. They're actually ahead of everybody right now. Every one of these teams have stuff to work on. Bills are not an exception. But I think that in terms of
Colts look good too.
Yeah, I think in terms of being set up for success, the Bills are in the best spot with the idea in mind that there's plenty to work on.
But you know what's going to be said, right? So let's just say it all plays out the way we need to play out. By the way, did I think you said the Colts were on the 1 yard line. Did they punch it in?
They did. Then they forced a fumble, got the ball back, and scored a field goal. So they are up 20-13. The Jaguars just extended their lead 26-14 on the Niners. So they'll also be a game behind at 3-1.
All right. Well, here's what I think and before we get out of here, what people I think are going to say is this. They're going to be like, hey, you guys may be 4-0, but who the hell did you guys beat? Mm-hmm. You beat the bum Ravens that are overrated and fraudulent. You know exactly what's going to be said. You beat the Dolphins. Okay. You beat the bum Jets and you beat the Saints. Who have you guys beaten? Exactly what the conversation is going to go. I'm going to get ahead of it right now and be like, yo, a win's a win at the end of the day, and I don't want to hear nothing because who have we beaten? Take a look around the league of who's losing to who. I don't want to hear. The Packers lost to who did lose to? The Browns?
Cleveland last week, yeah.
Cleveland. Knock it off, right? The Giants just beat the Chargers. Shut up. I don't want to hear nothing from anybody talking about, oh, who'd you beat? Take a look around the league and who lost to who. A win's a win. Like McDermott said, I can't believe I'm about to repeat what McDermott said. Hey, celebrate these wins, fellas. These wins are hard to come by.
Don't tell Jeff King that, though. Don't tell the King.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it for me.
No, you're 100%. You're 100% spot on. So you know right now that in terms of how it started, it couldn't really be much of a better start with the idea in mind. There's so much room to grow. That's the positive here. Like you could have room to grow with L's in the column, right? And it's true. Like to your point, like who have they beaten? You can't deny it. Next week, Rico will be the best team they've played in terms of record, and that's the Patriots at 2-2.
Yep.
So it's true. But then again, we don't make the schedule. They don't make the schedule. So win them. And they have.
Exactly. Win them and get on with your life. And that's what we're going to do right now is get on with our life for the rest of the day and for the rest of Sunday. Folks, if you guys enjoyed this show, do us a favor. Go ahead and smash that like for this handsome guy that just spent he's over a year now with his wife. He's married 1 year. Congratulations to my guy.
Thank you very much.
1 year, 365. I love it. Did you guys enjoy your night yesterday? Was it great? Was it fantastic? Was it low-key?
We had a fantastic time. We had a really good time, didn't we, Caroline? Caroline's about to go to the
Congress Fair.
The Congress Fair, the local fair. So she's about to have a great time.
I'm going to jump in here. Caroline, that's enough. That's enough gallivanting around town.
That's what I said.
Rest your feet and sit your butt down somewhere and just get plump and get ready to look at that beautiful baby yours. All over town, gallivanting.
I know. She needs to take a break.
I can't stop.
Absolutely.
Hey, speaking of celebrating, whoop, I got to add, where's Rico? Rico disappeared on me. I want to see if we're going to be able to celebrate our sleeper picks that we made before the game.
Oh, I know
because I haven't looked, and I now that I am looking, we did end up dropping one. I don't know why this is doing the opposite of what it typically does. Rico, I don't know why you're not in here. I don't know. Look at this. Look at, we're all over the place here. What's going on? Why is this doing this to us? There we go. I guess I'm flying solo on this one real quick, Rico, to update the fans on what went down on our sleeper picks. And we nailed James Cook anytime touchdown. Greg Rousseau, no sacks. So we missed on that. We had Allen more than 1.5 touchdowns. We hit that. And then Kincaid, it was more than 36.5 receiving yards. He only had the one catch, and it was 28 yards. So we missed out on a couple. We're getting close. We're going to nail one of these soon. Hopefully you nail them prior to us. I guarantee you're going to be better than us. If you think you are, and I know you are, link in the description below, Sleeper app, download it. Use the promo code on your screen, BF25. That'll get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. Use the promo code BF25. We're going to nail one of those soon. We're going to. Yeah,
we got to. By the way, the wife came back from her girls trip, and she's like, "Hey, have it tasted this this juice? I've been sipping on it this couple hours. Maybe that was why I was lit up today." She made this thing called mom juice, whatever the hell that's called, right? There's all women over there, all moms. So like we put a peach snappy with this and that, and poured all the stuff. Do you even taste the liquor? Hell no, I don't taste the liquor.
Yeah.
A couple more of these, your boy will be 2 sheets to the wind.
We're getting active, man. I love it.
We're gonna love it. Well, folks, that's it for us. If you guys enjoyed the show, you guys know what to do. Smash that like, and do me a favor when you do smash that like. Do us a favor, share it to someone that needs to see something like this, that needed this pickup. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't know who's going through what. Sometimes these type of things pick them up for the rest of the week. And we know, I always say this, the meals will taste just as good, if not better, because of these Bills victories. So folks, we will see you guys again tomorrow with my man Z-Bot. Then I'll be back at it again on Tuesday. Are you available Wednesday? Are you doing your show on Wednesday with the round table boys?
I am going to LA this week. I am going to Rams Niners at SoFi Stadium, which is going to be unreal. Yeah, NFC West roundtable.
What is that? A Thursday night game?
Thursday night game this upcoming Thursday. So look for your boy in the crowd at SoFi Stadium. That's going to be something. I'm excited about that.
Look at you. Listen, Caroline's gallivanting. You're gallivanting. You guys are the gallivant squad.
Getting it out of the way now while we can, I suppose. But yeah,
that's exactly right. Exactly. Well, enjoy yourself. Be safe out there. And then I'll be holding it down on Wednesday with my guy Thigh Doc. And we'll be talking injuries. We'll be talking with Punter. We'll be talking Ed Oliver. We'll be talking all that stuff. Don't be afraid to come and tune in on Thiology Wednesdays. Thiology 101. We got things cracking. And then we'll go from there, folks. You guys have yourself a fantastic evening. And I'm your boy Rico. This is my guy Z-Bot. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow with my man Z-Bot.
Go
Z-Bot,
Bills.
you're going to cue us out? What kind of music you got for us? You got something for us?
I'll give us that dance music on the way out. Like we said, we got to enjoy it. We got to enjoy it while we can. So we'll slow dance on the way out. And much love to everybody tuning in. Well over 1,000 of you on the post-game report. We'll see you again tomorrow. But in the meantime, enjoy the W. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Much love as always. And go Bills.
Go Bills, baby.